Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to this beautiful, gorgeous Easter Sunday afternoon, where we are going to do another Chris Chan article today, ladies and gentlemen. One of Chris's quickisms under the article of stress, and it's called Kick the Autistic. Now, judging from the literal offset of this title, I think it's fair to say that um, when all is said and done, this is going to be largely about Chris's autism, which he interprets as like his lens to the world. Unfortunately, what you're going to witness, especially if you're pretty new to the lore of Chris in the first place, is that not everything Chris, says. I'm trying to reach a middle ground where I say that Chris doesn't say the things he says to be mean. Sometimes he says them to be honest. But unfortunately, well, more often than not, he says things that are intentional, supposed to be mean, and he has no other ways around this. So let us begin. Kick the autistic. I'm not going to scream this out, but I'll just say this. I really wanted that trip so I could have a chance to impress my sweetest Megan and possibly fulfill my dream of getting married and soon having a daughter named Crystal. Yet now I, a frustrated high-functioning autistic 25-year-old virgin, have been balls broken. I have thrown a big chunk of my life into America's favorite game, Kick the Autistic. Chris coining the phrase after taking a loss in a contest pretty well. Because it's Chris's idea that people are just gonna throw this insult at him, so that he doesn't have to feel guilty or take any punishment for what happens to him. Kick the autistic was a phrase first coined by Chris when he complained about not receiving prefraternal treatment for having autism shortly after he lost the Parappa the Rapper contest and a chance to score with Megan. I like to say that's what he's really angry about, the fact that he couldn't have sex with someone, apparently. Soon the phrase developed into a game that consists of doing anything Chris does not like. He alleges it to be America's favorite game, owing to the frequency of his antagonists, perceived and real, playing it. Kick the autistic. America's favorite game is now on your favorite console. I wonder if Lee Holly ever saw the fact that his image was being used to depict someone called Clyde Cash. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? And here are the variations, and oh Jesus, there's a lot of these. So let's go. Variations. There are many known variations of the game, and below are the most noteworthy. Xbox 360 Connect. Kick the autistic. And on that blatantly stupid Xbox. Hi. Artistic style. Enter a competition of artistry where Chris is also competing and beat him. This is generally easily done by showing any competence at all. Favoured by his fellow students and that no good Adam Stackhouse. Beware, Chris may get grumpy and print your picture out to shoot at it, or beat you up in Soul Calibur. He also did this to Mary Lee Walsh as well. Showing any competency at all. Well, if you've been reading the latest issues of Sonic 2, they're not wrong. Chris style. Set yourself up as one of the most visible and recognized representatives of autism within internet culture. Well, until I came along, eh? Act like an entitled child and develop horrifying perversions, which you discuss freely on YouTube. Give other autistic people, as well as those with Asperger's syndrome, which he hates, a bad reputation by association. There is a 100% chance this will result in them trolling you. Considering I have Asperger's syndrome myself, I'd more... Actually, I've got a very interesting idea. Maybe I should just straight up ask Chris this. I mean, he liked one of my things a few days ago, but I don't particularly think... Because usually what Chris will either do is that he'll go on a rant or literally just ignore it, because I do not particularly think... But, I'll try at least something. Let's do a bit of an experiment. Hello again, Christine. As someone with Asperger's, I wanted to ask, who is also do you think there is most or not? Do the good qualities outweigh the bad? I just straight up ask him, hello again, Christine. As someone with Asperger's syndrome, I wanted to ask, as someone who is also on the spectrum, do you think there is something special about being diagnosed or not? Do the good qualities outweigh the bad? There you are. I've just straight up just wanted to ask him, just literally just to see what she wants to say. I think that's like the easy thing to do. Okay, so who's Mill Savage? Is this anyone? Let me just check. Nah, it doesn't matter. Okay, wait. Blanca style. Pretend to be a boyfriend-free girl. Take the time to befriend Chris until he trusts you. Once that happens, get him to send you your horrific nudes and something of value to him, and record yourself destroying it. Jimmy Hill style. If you are an artist, troll, or just bored, plagiarize Chris's own plagiarized comics. Chris is very funny about the material which he has plagiarized. I'd say confused is also the right word, and he will throw a fit and take legal action against you if not removed by 14 days. Who's 14 days, by the way? I've never heard of him. Is he like a rapper or something? Also, I hope DMX is okay, because I heard he's still on life support. God, I'll make sure to pray for him. Sweetheart style. Pretend to be befriend Chris, known for being of the completely clueless type, and willing to trust anyone who claims to have a china. Then, when you have gained his trust, tell him to do something amusing. Say you are a woman who is turned on at the thought of him recycling. Once this happens, not even hippies would have been that relieved. Once this happens, put the goods up on Encyclopedia Dramatica and the Kiwi Farms, and sit back as you watch them get their laughs under lucrisities. Pickleman style. Go to Virginia and somehow meet up with Chris while wearing a pickle costume. He will be bewildered by it and too powerless to act. Miscreant style. Set events in motion that will keep Chris from ever getting laid. Physically weaken him so that he can't even rape a woman to lose his virginity, or do anything else for that matter. Extra points for clouding up his judgment. As an added fuck you, send the true and honest Christian Western China to swipe his sweetheart. Keep doing this for the rest of his life. Then send him to hell where he'll be trolled for all eternity, or reincarnated as a pickle. Whichever, the current champion of this style is Chris himself. Liquid style. Be the true and original creator of Sonichu, the electric hedgehog Pokemon. Upload videos on YouTube detailing your many encounters with Clyde Cash and your success at attracting a boyfriend-free girl. Brag about the millions you have earned thanks to Sonichu, and try to conquer the Sonichu media empire that is rightfully yours. Bonus points if you are purchasing ad space on the Wikipedia. Alec Benson Leary of Asperchu has used a similar tactic to much the same effect. Though with that being said, Alec Benson Leary just did exactly what Chris did, and with far more, tact and, gusto. Michael Snyder style. Give Chris the banhammer, thus preventing him from going to his favourite establishment, for no good reason, other than sheer hatred for autistic people. Patiently wait until he tries to come back to his rightful place, and then rub your legs on his car's bumper in order to fake injury. Sue Chris for damages and bribe whoever needs to be bribed. Once this is done, you'll be rolling in the dough. God style. Refuse to bail out the one and only autistic hero and center of your universe, Christian Weston Chandler of Ruckersville, Virginia. Whenever he hits parked cars, trespasses on private property, vandalizes store displays, or maces GameStop employees, grant prayers to people with concerns that aren't half as important as winning glorious victory over the trolls and cyberbullies, finally refuse to step in when your autistic hero accidentally sets his home ablaze. Gal pal style. Reveal that you were just friends with him out of pity. Then, when Chris throws a tantrum about it, turn that pity into laughter by linking to one of his videos for all of his former gal pals to see just how far he's fallen since from the last seen him. Then, when the Catherine saga is coming to a close, reveal yourself as the fabricating troll mastermind behind both the admitting of befriending Chris out of pity and the saga itself. Sega style. Push your biggest fan buttons by changing the arm color of your main hero from tan to blue in your latest game. Watch as Chris gets blangry and declares war on your franchise. Crack open a cold one as this leads to Chris pepper spraying a jerk for trying to stop him winding up in jail and learning absolutely nothing. Well, I was about to say, because that was one of the few occasions where Chris did everything of his own accord and there was nothing, no troll did anything. Nobody needed to do anything for that matter. Financial crisis style. Grant the Chandlers another mortgage on 14 Branch Lane Court so they can have more spending money for their hoards, then stress them out by holding them to the payment plan. Mert style. Gradually work your way up in life to become a billionaire and eventually the President of the United States. Watch as Chris films himself threatening death on you by smashing his own toys. Doopy style. Be a voice actress artist who Chris orbits on Twitter. Accept his money to draw art commissions for him. Then take cover as Weens make fake pledges on your Patreon while Chris begins calling you darling and spamming your business email. Firstly, call him out in public for being creepy and spending beyond his means. Then step back as Chris tries to win you over by painting a bullseye on himself and telling everyone to harass Quick directly. For bonus points, join the Trolls' internet forum, leak the emails he had sent to you. Afterwards, have Chris talk with one of your best friends, and have them start a flame war. If done right, have her A-log Chris throughout all of her posts for him displaying the same creepy behavior towards her. Quinn style. Be one of Chris's Facebook friends over the span of a few years, and latch onto him when he's desperate for a girlfriend. As soon as you see him stalking a voice actress on LazyCast, break up with him. Wait for him to film himself crying about it, and then get back together with him. Be sure to goad him into making a rage video cursing Kiwi Farms trolls by completely ending the relationship one day before you are set to meet him in real life, and saying that you hacked your Facebook as the reason. Idea guy style. When you notice Chris's detachment from reality and his gullibility, take advantage of both to troll him. First, make up stories about the various happenings of his own creation, and then inform Chris about them. Afterward, tell Chris to do a number of ridiculous tasks that you know will fly over his head. Whenever it be telling him to write, "I have a penis" in Japanese, whilst making him think it's his signature, or forcing him to do the stalker chant, whilst making him think that it's an ancient Cherokee chant. Chris's response to such coercion will vary, so use it wisely. This style is bound to work if you inform him that Roastew has a pickle, though as an alternative you could go the extra mile and do some of the most deranged stuff any player of the game has committed, whether it be telling him to shit on the floor or telling him to physically beat himself and his own mother. Twitter style. Message and harass the Twitter accounts Chris follows with large amounts of embarrassing information about him in order to get Chris blocked from viewing those accounts. Project SNT style. Redesign some of Chris's characters and watch his mind completely break because he doesn't like a certain design element. that I remember doing that. That was just... what in the world? Sockness style. Hijack Chris's delusions and tell him that he has to have sex with you in order for them to come true. Unfortunately, Chris, that this one really doesn't work because Chris completely saw past Jacob's sockness. Troll shielding style. If you have no creativity or aren't skilled enough to execute the above versions to play properly, but you want to use Chris's Tard Rage to cover up for your lolziness, you may want to use this variation of the game as a last resort. You'll see why this is a very bad idea as soon as you've read the instructions. First, you'll either have to want to create close to 10 Twitter sock puppet accounts to spam and flame Chris with, or create a YouTube channel solely dedicated to subpar commentaries on his older videos. Hey, that's kind of like what I do. Once you've farmed enough content, share your hard work and effort to get as many desperate upvotes and views as possible. If somebody figures out your shenanigans, do not fret. Just try to cover it up in a half-assed fashion, even if you stupidly include your own profile pic in one of the screenshots you sent to the Kiwi Farms. Even after you've been called out on your bullshit, simply continue attacking Chris on your preferred platform every time he posts new content, usually with some dead meme that anyone else would have found cringy, or by telling the rest of the world how horrible Chris is compared to you. All in all, you should never try to play the game this way, as you are always going to lose regardless of how you try to execute it. Chris will never respond to your unfunny commentaries, let alone rage over them. Plus, all of your desperate troll shielding and spamming will only lead to you being mocked even more. Double dumbass points if it is Chris who ends up kicking you instead. Smart idea to be wearing a surgical mask near Chris. Still, I'd go to a doctor and get myself checked for scabies if I were you. She has lupus. It had nothing to do with me at all. And frankly, I and a lot of people would strongly disagree with your idea there, buckaroo. How to lose the game. Yeah. Dildo on 4. Yeah. Literally. Examples of literally kicking the autistic include the teachers at Nathaniel Green Elementary School, allegedly, Jerkops, probably exaggerated, and TJ from the Game Place, almost. Chris has never experienced any substantial physical pain in his entire life. I was about to say, I don't think Chris really understands what stress really is, but that could be a topic for another occasion. No broken bones or bare-knuckle fights. His parents never raised a hand against him. There is also no evidence of him ever being grounded or punished in any significant way, even after being caught masturbating in the kitchen. The only citation provided by Chris of physical pain whatsoever is an ancestorial story about the time that the Sarah Nicole Hammer tried to teach him how to roller skate. Chris fell and skinned his knee, vowing never to roller skate again. I never knew about that. Because Chris has never been through the school of hard knocks, even running away if a confrontation seems intimate, he seems pretty confident that he can tell anyone anything he wants without fear of consequence. That really should be without fear and or consequence. On the 28th of October 2011 and the 26th of December 2014, respectively, Chris committed crimes that could have seen him end up in jail, wherein inmates don't take kindly to temper tantrums. Fortunately for him, he evaded both fates, but the latter incident saw Chris getting a probation, and he won't be as lucky if he gets in trouble with the law again during the period. Uses by Chris. Recorded examples of this particular quickism include the following. In the email he sent to Sony after losing the Chop Chop Master Onions Rap Showdown, Chris blamed his failure on America's favourite game, Kick the Autistic. At the same time, in his first PSN blog entry, cursing Adam Stackhouse, he bitched and mixed his metaphors about how I have been the dog in America's favourite game, Kick the Autistic, for my whole life. After finding out Panda Halo was a troll during VivTag's AIM chat, Chris whined, and so the world continues to play the world's favourite game of Kick the Autistic. Addressing Encyclopedia Dramatica users on the 21st of January 2008, Chris wrote, "And if you have so much free time to play the cruelest game of Kick the Autistic, then you can and should put the time to better use. Volunteer for a social chore, take up the culture in tasteful art, go out and socializing, in an attempt to get them to back off. even though, again, Chris should take his own advice in certain situations like this. A variation was used in Chris's second version of Okay to Be Gay, with Chris opening the video with the words Merry Kickmas. And that's... See also jerk up Reggie Filius Ami, pin the autistic, ban the autistic, and block the autistic. That's a... Is it just going to lead me to the TF? Yes, it is. Again, those are going to be discussions for like other days as well. But the important detail I want you guys to learn about this, ladies and gentlemen, is that Chris will, and unfortunately Chris is not one of the only people to have ever done this, is that any time he is reprimanded or he's ever caught out on anything, he will immediately go, he will always paint himself as the victim. Chris will very rarely, if ever, take any responsibility or accountability when he does anything bad. He says these things because he wants to elicit as much sympathy without, wanting to damage his own ego or make himself humble in any which way whatsoever. Unfortunately, for those who know, this simply never works because it makes Chris seem delusional and very, very unwilling to be seen as approachable. Do you really think you would want to be friends with somebody who is vindictive, racist, homophobic, and will continue, blame everyone else and take no responsibility? Need only look further than the whole Sonic Boom Gate saga, and you pretty much have everything you need to know. Whether he was troll influenced or not, which he wasn't during that period. The Sonic Boomgate saga, I should say. So with all that being said and done, I hope you guys have enjoyed this article of Kick the Autistic. Honestly, there are much better games to play out there, like, Mario Kart 8 or Sonic Boom. And I hope all of you guys have enjoyed it, and I'll see all of you guys again in the next video. Take care, bye-bye for now.